Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Her Story podcast presented by Chamber Fayetteville. I am super excited today to talk to two lovely women, mother daughter duo. We've got Julie and Cassidy Magnuson with us, and they are with Creative Promos. And I just want to jump right in. Can you guys tell me like a 1 to 3 sentence little introduction about who you are and what Creative Promos does?
We sell promotional products, so anything you can put your logo on, including wearables, coffee mugs, pens, things like that. I've been in this business for over 40 years. So obviously she's grown up in this business. So she has a good knowledge of the background. It is we do, but we just like to get out and meet people and try to fill needs where people have them when they need promotional items, the things to brand their company.
Okay, wait. So hold on, Cassidy, before you jump in, Julie, tell us a little bit more about what got this started for you 40 years ago. Do you have, and so where did it start? And did you have
Yeah.
any idea that you would be where you are today?
It's kind of a full circle moment because when I was after college, I worked for the Thrifty Car Rental World Headquarters office in Tulsa. And I was in the purchasing department and we bought promotional items for all of the Thrifty Car Rental locations everywhere. And I really enjoyed that, and got to know the people that I bought from. Fast forward, I moved to Memphis for a couple of years, ended up getting a divorce, moved back. But while I was in Memphis, the job I got there was working for someone that sold promotional items. So I'd been on the other end. Now I was working with someone that sold them, not in a sales capacity, more as a clerical position. But after 2 years, I moved back to Tulsa. And so I called the people that I used to buy from when I worked at Thrifty Car Rental, and they had an opening and I went to work for them. So I worked for them for a few years, and then they became partners with Randy Mulligan from Springdale because he wanted to start his own company and they were looking to expand to this market because it was growing at the time. This was 1994. So I was coming over to help him get set up his office, and he asked me one day, what would it take for you to move here? I was single. My son was about 5, getting ready to start school. And I thought, boy, this is a nice place to raise a family. So I moved here and never looked back. And I worked for him for almost 30 years until he retired a couple of years ago. So then I took the promotional side of the business and decided to start my own because I just love helping people find cool items to give away that are reminiscent of their brand and help people promote their brand.
I love it. Okay, so Cassidy, how did you get in on this business? And, tell us a little bit about your career journey.
Yeah, so honestly, if you would have asked me even 2 years ago, I probably would have never thought I would be sitting here today. But, but things took a turn and, things happen the way they're supposed to. So a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Springdale, went to Springdale High School, actually went to college out in San Diego. My brother lived out there for a job, so thought, I might apply, and I got accepted to a school out there. So I went to college there after I graduated. It's really expensive out there, and I just missed home. Northwest Arkansas is home to me. It always will be. So I missed that home feeling. So after I graduated, I moved back here, and I had a couple of sales positions before I came on with Creative Promos. My first job out of college, I was a healthcare recruiter, so I recruited, travel therapists, things like that. My next position, I did medical sales for a couple of years. I loved it, and I loved the sales aspect of it, and it gave me, a lot of really good experience under my belt, and kind of the confidence to be able to go out into the industry and be able to sell. So after that position, I kind of just wasn't super happy with my company anymore. The timing was kind of right to come on board here, and yeah, I'm so glad it worked out the way it did.
I love it. I know that there are a lot of people who I have experienced this personally. When you say, I work with my family, I work with my mom, and the response I either get is, oh, I could never, or, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Do you have similar responses from people, Cassidy? How do you feel about working with your mom?
Absolutely. It is definitely a 50-50 anytime I tell somebody, oh yeah, I work with my mom. I never know how they're going to react. But, it is funny. And I always tell them to, if you don't know me and my mom's relationship, it may be, just judging from the outside, of course, a mother-daughter working together does sound like it could be a little intense at times, but really we have a great relationship. It kind of sounds cliche, but it does, and just kind of works. We can turn work off and, turn mom and daughter on when need to. So,
and she likes to do the networking and get out there and meet people and stuff. And I've been doing that for so long. I don't really enjoy it as much anymore. I still like to go to chamber events and things like that, but I have a good customer base. And so she's bringing in new business and she's developing those relationships that I've had over the last 30 years.
That's awesome. I think that's a really good even partnership in the balance of workload and what things are doing.
We can do all the technology stuff that I don't know how to do. So that's been a big help too.
I do spend a lot of my days fixing the computers and the printer and whatnot. So that helps.
Always good to have that resource on hand. Okay, you both mentioned something in your stories about Fayetteville and Northwest Arkansas just being a special place. Julie, you being asked, like, what is it going to take for you to move here, feeling like it was a good place for family. Cassidy, you saying there's just something about it that is always going to be home. What do you guys think it is about this community that makes people stay here, come back here, and just choose it? What do you think the special sauce is?
I absolutely think it's the people, 100%. The people here care about this community. The businesses here care about this community.
I want to support each other.
I mean, it is just so integrated, and it's just, hey, I need a referral for this. And anywhere you go, any networking event put on by the chamber, anything like that, you're going to have somebody there at that event or somebody who knows somebody that you're looking for. So it's just so integrated, and you just can really tell how much the people in this community care about it. We all want to make it better.
And I always have said that people buy from people. They want to do business with people they know. Yes, you can buy promotional items on the internet. You don't know what you're going to get. And if you don't get what you wanted, who are you going to call? They may or may not answer, may or may not take care of the problem. So for us, that's a big selling point is our service. We get right on it. We get it to you quick. We check the quality. We use trusted suppliers that we know are going to do good work. And so people like to buy from people, and this is a great people community. It really is.
Oh, I love that. That's so, so good. Okay, I want to ask a little bit of a harder question now. I have a philosophy in life that when we go through something hard, we can kind of owe it to others to share the lessons that we've learned, because otherwise this is just like a wasted hard thing that I'm the only one who got the lesson from. Like, that's no fun. This is a podcast. This is for women in Fayetteville and beyond. What can each of you tell us about maybe a hard professional or maybe even personal season that you've walked through? And like, what's a lesson that you had to learn from that? That way we can all share in the burden of lesson learning and not have to go through the same hard thing that somebody else went through.
Well, for me, it was raising a family while working full time. I mean, and I think that's a challenge for all women, because we are the caregiver at home, the maid, the cook, the laundry person, and then also raising kids, and then having a full time job that can be demanding. And when your kid's sick and you have to stay home, and I'm talking before the internet where I could work remotely, I couldn't do that really. I couldn't work from home when my kids were young. And sometimes your bosses aren't always understanding about that because their wife is the one that stays home when their kids are sick. So that was a challenge for me. Also, somebody didn't like to get up in the mornings. So there was always a battle in the mornings just to get to work. I'd be stressed out by the time I got there just from everything that it took to get to that point. So to me, that was a season in life that was difficult, but I'm not the only one that does it. We all do it. All women who have careers have to juggle that, and it's just something that you work through. But to me, that was a trying season in my career.
For sure. Do you have any advice or wisdom you would pass on to somebody finding themselves in a similar spot?
Well, I think it's easier now because people can work remotely, and so that makes it a lot easier, because even if your kid's sick, they're sleeping most of the day. You could be working too, but back then I didn't have that opportunity. So I think it's a little easier now than it was back then.
Sure. Sure. So sort of in that vein of figuring out how do you balance, life at home and life within work, do you guys have any thoughts on how you can implement good work-life balance? And I think especially with the note of you guys being family in business together and the risk of business taking up every spare inch of space is like so tempting. Have you guys been able to find that balance, and how have you guys done that?
I will say it is definitely tricky. It is tricky to turn work off. We find ourselves, in the evenings at dinner, talking about work still, or on the weekends, driving to the grocery store talking about work. So, sometimes we have to kind of catch ourselves, but at the same time, I also feel like that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I feel like that kind of shows that, it doesn't feel like work to us. We are passionate about this, and it does just naturally come up in our conversations. It is just on our minds on the weekends or at dinner in the evening. So it is difficult to turn it off, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Some tricks and tips and little quirky things that we try to do to remind ourselves, like, okay, it's 5 o'clock, work is done every day at usually around 5, sometimes 5:30. She'll power down her computer. Powering down, I usually know, okay, it's time to wind down for the day. Close the office door, so we can leave it alone and move out. We'll be back to it on the day.
Leave work at work kind of thing.
Exactly.
And it's hard to do when you work from home.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's easy if someone, I have clients that text me in the evenings, because that's when they're thinking about stuff. And I'll run in here every once in a while and put a proposal together or something, but we try not to. And my thing is that you have to take vacations. You have to recharge, because it's really easy to get burnt out if you don't. So take a lot of trips, even if it's just a long weekend, just to clear your head and get away for a little bit.
I love that. That's such good advice. And I found myself recently where I was like, why is everything so hard? And it was like, it has been 18 months since you went on a vacation.
Yeah.
And we went 3 weeks later. I found myself on a beach somewhere. So it's such a good thing to do, to just get away.
Yeah. Especially as a woman, because like I said before, it's not just your job, but you have the household that you manage as well. And so it's easy to get burnt out. And sometimes you just need to recharge.
Right. We carry so much as women. We carry like a lot of different areas, and as nice as it would be if they were in tidy little boxes, they're usually intermingled, and they don't like to just stay in their lane all the time, which is fine and hard.
Sometimes it's messy.
Exactly. Okay, so if that's what we do to kind of keep balance, what about can you tell us a little bit more about, for you guys, what does a regular, Tuesday look like for you? Do you have good routines? Do things look normal for you guys? What's a regular day of the week look like?
I would say not at all. Every day looks different, really. Every week's vary as well. But normal Tuesday could be meeting at 9 a.m. for a networking event, and then heading to the office and spending a couple hours following up with people we just talked to at the networking event, answering back to emails, working on presentations. Lots of errands. Our days typically consist of lots of errands, whether that's
deliveries.
Yes, making deliveries, UPS, post office, things like that we have to do on a daily. So every day's different.
And that's what I love about this business, is every day is different. Someone calls you with the challenge of, we've got an event coming up, we don't know what we want. This is the people that are going to be there. And then we can go to work and try to come up with some unique and fun items that, promotional items is a tricky space. Yes, everybody has pins with their logo on them. But if you have a really nice one that writes good, people are going to want to keep it. And then they're going to want to come back and get another one. So sometimes you're just giving away things for adult trick-or-treaters that are coming through at a trade show. So you don't want to spend a lot of money. It's fun for us to figure out, what is the event? Who are you trying to reach? Who's your target audience? And then let us come up with some fun items that people will actually use or keep on their desk or carry with them or talk about and tell other people about.
I love that. I think that's so good. In your industry, speaking of promotional items, what do you guys think about, is there a glass ceiling there? Do you think that that's something that you guys experience?
I really don't think that it's because we're women necessarily. I mean, there is a lot of competition, more and more competition. as the internet is more available to everyone. And so just encouraging people to really think about what is it that you want from a vendor. You want service, you want quality, you want to make sure that the items are on time. All of those things come into play. And if you have an issue, you have a person to call instead of trying to find an 800 number on the internet to fix the thing you got in your events tomorrow and they look like crap. And what are you going to do now? So for us, it's just getting out there and making our case that service counts for something. Yes, our pricing is very competitive, but if you look hard enough, you can always find something a little cheaper. But I had a customer the other day that said, I need some stuff because I've been ordering on the internet and I've determined that you get what you pay for, so love to hear that.
It happens all the time, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up, but I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you guys. I'd love for you both to answer. So we're going to do some rapid fire and then we'll land the plane, if you will. So what is a job that you wanted when you were a kid?
I really wanted to be a teacher until I, got a little older and realized that I didn't, love other people's kids that much. So, changed my mind on that pretty quickly, but that's what I wanted to be when I was younger.
I really don't remember if I had a career goal. I always wanted to help people in some kind of industry, but I don't think I ever wanted to be a nurse or a teacher or anything like that. I don't really remember.
Okay. Beach, mountains, city, or staycation?
Oh, beach.
City.
Okay. I like it. Let's say you guys get a bonus that's going to hit your account today. You can decide how much it is. What's the first thing you would go do with it?
I'm booking a trip.
I was going to say a mother-daughter weekend. Is that the trip you have planned?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Good.
Mother-daughter weekend. Okay.
I love it. Can you describe your work wardrobe in 3 words?
I have one word. Basic.
Basic. I like it.
Casual, comfy, but professional.
Nice. I like it. All right. And last one might be a little tricky. Is there a goal that you might not have told anybody about yet? Are you ready to say it out loud?
For me, yes. I would like to retire and I want to make sure that she's ready to take over my business and keep it growing.
That's such a good goal.
In the next few years, not
Yeah.
anytime right away, but
Well, my goal that I've never told you too is that I also would love to soon be able to successfully take over the business and be able to continue making your customers happy that you've been serving for all these years. So
great.
I love this synergy. I'm so excited for the conversation you guys get to have right after this.
I know.
For talking more about that. I think that's going to be so lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you both, Julie and Cassidy, for joining us for the conversation today and for being a part of the Her Story series. I know that both of you are just such great, positive women that are in the community and spreading just joy and helpfulness. And I love getting to see you guys every networking event. I'm always ready to go give a big hug. And thank you guys so much for all of the work that you do and for just representing Fayetteville so well.
And you as well, Sami.
Yes.
You're always at everything, making people happy and
making connections.
making connections and referring people to other people. And that's really what makes this community so great is we all want to help each other.
Absolutely agree. Well, thank you everyone for listening. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.
Hi, thank you.